Good morning, students. This is Mr. Kosal coming back at you. Today is Wednesday, the 18th of March. I guess this is officially the second e-learning day that we have of this crazy break that's before you. So welcome back. Hopefully you saw the video on Monday that we posted. Sorry, it was a long video and it just took a really long time to get it uploaded to Canvas. I'm gonna try to do a better job this morning of getting it up as quickly as I can, but I figured I wanted to start today by giving all of you the answers for 8.4b and 8.5. So I'm going to put these up on the screen. Feel free to pause it. I don't want to take up a whole lot of your time. So pause it if you want to check some answers. Here are the rest of them. Pause it if you want to check your answers. Ignore the grading scale. I'm going to have all of you turn this assignment in when we get back from this crazy break. So this is purely for your benefit. Check the answers and just to see if you know what you're doing. Pause it if you need to, look back at these. And then here are the answers for lesson 8.5, which is the angles of elevation and angles of depression. Only grade the problems that I assigned on Canvas. I think there's a few extra problems here. So just check your answers, see if you know what you're doing. Once again, disregard the grading scale at the bottom. I'm gonna have all of you turn your homework in when you get back, so grading scale is gonna be irrelevant, but this is just a chance to see if you are doing these problems right. Of course, this is a math class and we wanna make sure that we're doing these problems right. So you have the option to check your answers in the back of the book if they are odd, but if they're even, well, that's kind of a different story. So here are all the answers. Pause it, come back to it. Even when we're on break from this crazy coronavirus that's going on, I still want to make sure that you are checking your answers and are doing these problems right. So, all right, time to move on. Lesson time. So I'm working out of my house right now, and I looked all around and I couldn't find any regular computer paper, so I'm forced to write on this line paper today. So a little different, but we're gonna make it work. Folks, I'm gonna get started right away. We're gonna entitle this lesson 8.6a, and I'll do 8.6b on Friday of this week. This is the law of sines, folks. And this is the last lesson number of the chapter. There's no 8.7, so folks, this is it. We're gonna teach this lesson today, teach 8.6b on Friday, and we're done with chapter 8. Now, you're probably wondering, how, Mr. Kosal, are we going to be tested over this chapter? Excellent question. I have no idea. I'm looking into options right now to figure out if we can test online. We might, this is not the best case scenario, but we might have to test when you all get back. Of course, I'll throw a day of review in there just to kind of get us ready and refresh everything that we've done. But that's the least of my worries right now. That answer will come with time. But right now, I want to make sure I'm still teaching you all. So hold off on your questions. Give me your attention for today. Go ahead and write this stuff down. Have your scientific calculators out in front of you. You're going to need them. And I made a dumb mistake of when we left on Monday of this week. They actually told us to take everything out of our classrooms. I took everything except my graphing calculator, my go-to calculator. So I am stuck using this. It's all right. It's got the sine, cosine, and tangent buttons, but not my preferred calculator to be using. But we're gonna make it work. So have your scientific calculators out in front of you. For most of you, it's gonna be your iPhone or your smartphone or your Android, what have you. So here we go. I want to start off by reviewing everything I've done with you for chapter 8. So as always, please write this stuff down. All right, 8.1 through 8.6. Teaching 8.6 today. Let's kind of go back and review and see if you remember this stuff. 8.1, that was the kid, the mama, and the papa, if you remember that. Started the chapter off with the kid, the mama, the papa. Kind of a hard lesson, but mostly I want you to remember that this was working. Let me get a different color. With right triangles. Kind of huge. This is the right triangles chapter. Please write that down. And then we jumped into 8.2, which was a good, that's an equal sign, a good, easy lesson, the Pythagorean theorem, once again, working with right triangles. Who would have guessed? This is the right triangles chapter, of course. Then we jumped into 8.3, which might have been a good one for you. Might have been a good lesson, might have been a tough lesson. Special triangles. The 45-45-90 triangle and the 30-60-90 triangle. Showed you all the relationships there. Once again, all of the special triangles are right triangles. It's either a 30-60-90 right triangle or a 45-45-90 right triangle. Perfect. You probably see the pattern going on. Whatever this was, if you remember, it was right triangles, right? Right? You guessed it. 8.4, that's when I introduced SOHCAHTOA to you. Sine, cosine, tangent. Sine is the opposite over the hypotenuse. Cosine is the adjacent over the hypotenuse. And the tangent is the opposite over the adjacent. Once again, no surprise here. Right triangles. 8.5. Then we jumped into angles of elevation and depression. Once again, right triangles. Okay, all right. 8.6. Well, it's going to be the law of sines and, whatever we're going to teach us on Friday, which is actually the law of cosines. Let's go ahead and write that down. So I get to teach you something called the law of sines today. And then, technically that's 8.6a, and then I'm going to come back on Friday and teach you the law of cosines, which is a whole different ballgame. You'll see on Friday. But the law of cosines and the law of sines are, sorry to do this to you, everybody. What? It's not right triangles. We have gotten you all conditioned so much with right triangles that we kind of pulled a rug out from you in 8.6. Not right triangles. So every triangle I give you today will not have that little right angle symbol in it. So let's draw a little picture up here. Let's draw a little right triangle. Make sure there's that little right angle symbol in the corner. Right triangles are only for 8.1 to 8.5. Today, complete new lesson. So once again, this is going to be 8.6a, 8.6b. I'm already looking at the time. We're at about 8 minutes and 45 seconds. So I'm going to try to jump right into it. So everybody, here is law of the, yikes. Everybody here's the law of sines. With triangle ABC, where A, B, and C are sides. Oh, let me bump this up. Sorry, folks. The law of sines with triangle ABC, where A, B, and C are sides. And before I give you the law, before I give you the equation over here, let's draw ourselves a triangle. Any triangle. Don't make it right. Cool thing is this law, this equation works with right triangles as well, but I'm going to draw a triangle that clearly is not right. No right angle. That's an obtuse angle up top. Looks like it's bigger than 90 degrees. Let's label this triangle, shall we? Let's call that angle A, angle B, angle C. And if you remember me talking about this, I believe last week I showed you this, where, we've been working with labeling vertices of a triangle with capital letters for a long time now, even going back to geometry A. But then if you have angle A right here, across from angle A, that's going to be little a. Little a is representing this side right here between big B and big C. So if this is angle B, big B, then across from big B is little b. And then once again, big C is right here, little c is right there. Make sure the little c right here is smaller than the big C. It's kind of easy with the lowercase b and, lowercase a, but I always try to make this a little larger than that one right there. Okay, any triangle ABC. ABC are the sides. Here is the law of sines. I want to change my color. Let's go permanent marker black. The sine of big A, so the sine of angle A, over its opposite side, which we just talked about, is going to equal the sine of big B over its opposite side, little b. Everybody, that's the law of sines. That's the law of sines. I'm going to show you how it works in just a sec, but that is the law of sines. That's the first equation. Here's the second one. Yeah, you thought there was just one. The sine of big A all over little a equals the sine of big C all over little c. That's the second law of sines equation. And really, they are the same thing. The first equation is just working with A's and B's. Second equation is working with A's and C's. Notice how we left the C's out. Notice how we left the B's out. There really is one more equation. It's the sine of big B all over little b equals the sine of big C all over little c. So really, this equation is there's just one of them. Keep in mind that when you use this equation, you're going to be working with two. The A's and the B's, or the A's and the C's, or the B's and the C's. So, maybe you're just working with, the middle one. It really doesn't matter. Just as long as you know it's the sine of an angle all over its opposite side equals the sine of another angle all over its opposite side. Perfect. Excellent. You got the equation. Let me rip this sheet off, and the permanent marker bled through. And let's get